Hi, Michelle.
Hey Justin, what's up?
Hey there. So, yeah, thanks. Time is tight, and I thought one, I'd try a couple things. I'd try online to maybe see if we can boost attendance, and that way you would have a bigger audience.
Yep,
And then also, I think I'm going to record it if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
And then what we could do is we could take clips. Let me see if I can get my earbuds working, and we can share those.
Yeah, sounds good. All
Bear with me while I
right,
try to get this connected. I just got back from my daughter's figure skating classes.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Hey Craig.
Hi.
Exception.
Well, yes, Craig. Hey, I know you're upriver, right?
I am.
Okay, this isn't working for me.
I just came back from Belknap.
That's a sweet spot.
A very sweet spot.
Well, see, you are a case in point of someone who has expressed interest in being at a meeting, but it's tough to physically transport yourself there all the way from upriver, so this works.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to drive 100 miles for an hour meeting.
No, no. And while we're waiting for folks to join, I guess what I'll tell you, Craig, is that when I first started doing this, I just wanted to give people like a low pressure way to sort of connect with us. And so I thought like an informal meetup versus like a formal meeting might be a way for folks to do that. Um, as we grow, I think what I would like to do is have both a monthly meeting and a in-person meetup, so we can kind of have best of both worlds. But I just kind of want to start by like trying to create community and a welcoming space. And so anyway, thanks for being here. I I think Connor's going to join us. I would imagine he will. And even if we don't have a huge, like I said, even if we don't have a huge audience here today online, what I'm hoping is I can take Michelle's message about Ballot Measure 2373 and then take clips from our conversation and maybe share them on social media to help spread the word. So let's just give folks a few minutes to maybe join.
Exactly. Young, what's Connor's last name?
Salisbury.
I think he's on our team, one of our teams.
Yeah, he likes to volunteer for a lot of stuff. He was in Occupy Medical and stuff.
Smart guy.
Yeah, very thoughtful person.
Yep.
I'm messaging Nora right now. Nora's my partner, but also our co-chair for the Eugene chapter, seeing if she can join us. It's kind of late notice. I didn't do. I will fully admit I did not do my best job of promoting this particular meeting, but I've just been, not to make excuses, but I've been spread pretty thin. So, as you may know, I'm trying to run for Congress, so I'm trying to do all the stuff that it takes to run a decent campaign. I figure like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to try to do it right. And then I'm also the secretary of the Pacific Green Party, and we have our convention coming up on January 24th. And Craig, that'll be online too. So I'll be sending more emails out about that and trying to promote that between now and then. I think we're going to try to invite some candidates from the Illinois Green Party to join us. At the last summer convention, I had Butch Ware, our Green Party candidate for governor of California, join us. And we've had Shama Sawant, a socialist organizer from Washington State, who's also running for Congress up there as a socialist independent. She's joined us. So I'm trying to like connect us with other parts of the country. We're also going to have a small panel about the importance of running for local office. I mean, Michelle is obviously very involved in organizing around local issues. we want to encourage more folks to run for local office as well. So there's a libertarian out in Coquille. Oh, sorry, he's in Coos Bay now, but he's a former mayor of Coquille. Devin Lawson, who at one point was on our state coordinating committee, um, he's running for Springfield Utility Board. And then there's a few others. I'm sorry, um, Josiah Dean is on our state coordinating committee. He's a former mayor of a small town in Oregon named Dufour, if I'm pronouncing that correct. I'm from Michigan.
You're not.
I'm
It's
not.
really, it's Doofer.
Dufour, thank you.
Yeah, sounds like it's a joke, but that's the name of it, Doofer. And
Dufour.
Coquille is not Coquille, it's Coquille.
Oh, well, there you go. See, that's what happens when you stick a Michigander in Oregon.
Hey,
I'm just happy I figured out Yachats.
good work. I grew up in Oregon and we always called it Coquille. But the natives call it Coquille. So we have to change.
Yeah, okay. You taught me something. Coquille.
Coquille.
Hey, I'm gonna hit record you guys, so anything you say can be used against you from going forward.
All right.
Um, okay. I think are we already? Oh, my bad. I must have hit it so it automatically records.
Mm.
So anyway, yeah, so he was a mayor in Dufour.
Yeah.
All right, got it. And uh and then James Daschle is also on our state coordinating committee. He lives in Corvallis and he ran for Benton County Commissioner in the last election, and he has expressed interest in running for Benton County Commissioner again. And they're very concerned about landfill issues up there. So like that's kind of his thing, like trying to make sure that the trash gets taken care of in a way that's not going to pollute and poison us.
Hey, no, I don't think there's a free lunch there.
I went to their chapter meeting. I learned a lot about landfills a couple weeks ago. Apparently, I guess the best practice is to move it east of the Cascades, which people over there might not want it, but I guess the rains in the valley, uh, the science behind it, I guess, is like there's some potential leaching that could happen where runoff from the dump would get in our waterways. I guess a great segue to maybe welcome. I'm going to make it the official welcome for so I can share this later. But this is Michelle Holman from Community Rights Lane County, and Community Rights Lane County has like I don't know how you would describe it, Michelle, like a spin-off, protecting Lane County watersheds. Maybe you can explain that to us. And they've collected signatures, and they've got this ballot measure that's going to be on your ballots if you live in Lane County come the general election in November. Correct me if I get any of this wrong.
Nope, May, it's the midterm, May 9th.
Ah, wrong already. So
This
May,
is,
yeah. So it's happening quick. Okay, cool. All right. So this is all the better that we promote this ASAP.
yeah,
So I'll give you the floor, Michelle, and we will share what you have to share with us with the rest of the membership.
cool. Thanks for inviting me here, Justin. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm on the steering committee for Community Rights Lane County, and this is actually a political arm. It's like a political campaign. It's Measure 20-373. It's the Lane County Watersheds Bill of Rights. So we're actually separate from Community Rights Lane County. This Community Rights Lane County is our education wing, and this is a separate political campaign to protect Lane County's waters. Um, what is it? What's it going to do? Well, it would give legal rights to all the watersheds within the county against corporate damage. It would give residents the right to clean drinking water, and it would prevent corporations and government from violating these rights. It is a rights-based initiative. So, why do we need to do this? You'll say, oh, we have the EPA protecting us and we have the Clean Water Act. And yeah, not enough. It's just not sufficient. We want to and elevate the rights of nature. It's a rights of nature initiative, which is part of a global movement, the rights of nature movement. Um, Nature has a right to exist, persist, and flourish, interdependent and independent of human activities. So nature on uh, her own. I'm going to genderize it, even though that's ridiculous, but um, nature on her own has a right to exist. And we people have had, we're just one species, really, albeit the most damaging species. Um, and we have this way of conducting ourselves where we see ourselves as independent or separate from nature. We are nature. We are nature. But we have a job to do that as stewards of nature that requires us to expose and challenge unjust law. So right now it is totally legal for big corporations to poison our waterways, our watersheds. That's injustice. That's unjust law. And we want to replace it with justice-filled law. And that's what this ballot measure does. It basically says that nature has a right to exist, persist, flourish, and naturally evolve. Um, our measure would make it so that if it was passed, the county would be responsible for enforcing it. Well, we all know that the county doesn't always do what we want, the county officials. And especially if your county officials are not all sympathetic to the intent of this law, they might find ways to circumvent or ignore. This also has a provision for citizens to enforce the law. So you can take nature into, or our waterways into a court of law as a plaintiff, and we the people would make that happen. Um, we have attorneys that are backing us pro bono, so this is not, it's not as frightening an enterprise as it sounds, but honestly, it's kind of up to us to be the good stewards of the earth. We have kids and grandkids. We have to leave this place um, in a better situation than we have it now. And right now, we know that big corporations degrade and destroy nature, the natural world. So this is our this is our entryway into protecting nature through the legal channels. Why? Because like I said, it's legal to destroy nature. So what we like to say is just because it's legal doesn't make it right. Used to be legal to own slaves. It used to be legal to keep women from the ballot box. Laws can change. We are the law changers.
100%. I say it all the time. I mean, just because something's legal doesn't mean it's moral, and just because something's like, immoral doesn't mean it's illegal either, right? Um,
True.
I guess if you don't mind, I have a few questions.
Sure.
I guess what inspired you to get started on this path? Like, you're like, at what point you're like, you know what we really need is a ballot measure. Like, how did it come to be?
Well, I'm going to say close to, well, it's probably 40 plus years when I moved out to the Coast Range of Oregon. Um, I thought I was in paradise. I am in paradise, but there is a practice that attends logging called aerial herbicide spraying. So, yeah, they spray chemicals from helicopters on recently planted units, logging units after clear cutting. And that poison can drift, and it does drift. And we never consented to being poisoned. So we've been trying for years to stop it. We've done all the traditional activism, which would be um, writing our Congress people, writing and calling regulatory agencies, going to corporate headquarters, inviting corporate heads to come to our community center and talk to us. All the ways that we could try to get them to understand that we are not having it. We don't want to be sprayed. We're very concerned. Didn't move the needle an inch because, as I've said, it's legal to do what they do. This is well settled law. So after, I don't know, I'm going to say 30 years of that kind of activism, I defected into this community rights model that says If it's legal, you're going to have to change the law. Well, that's luckily for Oregon, we have the initiative system. That's how we do it. That's how the people legislate in a so-called democracy. That's what we're doing. We're trying to get it to the people. We're not begging government. We're not begging corporate heads to behave well. We are talking to one another, and we're just saying it's up to us. We're the people. The system is supposedly founded on the autonomy of and the sovereignty of the people. So we're just taking what we know is our legacy and we're putting it into action.
I dig it. I like it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, quite frankly, that's one reason. I mean, not to make it about me, but that's one of the reasons why I'm running for Congress is just because I'm tired of begging people to do the right thing.
Right, right.
So I would just, yes. So let's take matters into our own hands, so to speak. And you're doing
Yeah.
that with this
And I
bill.
don't want to I don't want to vilify all elected officials, but I would say you with an ethical bone in your body are few and far between. That's why we're not going to our elected officials in this capacity. Right now, we're just talking to one another, empowering ourselves to take our rightful place at the table. And we don't really want a place at the table because it's our damn table. We're the people, right? So we are demanding, rightfully so.
Yeah, I love your perspective. So-called democracy. I'm so with you on that too.
Mm. Yeah,
So
we think democracy is a good idea and we should try it. We've never tried it really. Let's try it.
yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we feel like are impossible because we've never tried them.
True
Um,
enough.
I,
I,
I have a couple questions.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um, First of all, the effort to stop aerial spraying in Lincoln County passed, obviously, as we know, but it was overturned. And then the Public Forest Accord, so called, really, in my mind, gutted the whole attempt. And I'm curious as to why wasn't that effort picked up more on a statewide basis, since it had the history of passing and stopping the or calling the public accord for what it is, a total greenwashing of critical issues, and that they do not represent me or many of the people that I know, but again, it seems like um, so many people speaking their mind, getting so much resistance from behind. It's like uh, there's not an understanding of what's come before, how can we make it better, and how can we make it successful rather than trying to reinvent the wheel.
Well, I'll speak to why it didn't become a state
I know
initiative.
that. I'm aware of that.
Oh,
You know,
I thought you asked why didn't it become a state initiative?
no, okay. I know why I know why it was canceled.
Right. And the reason that it didn't pick up steam was number one, Lincoln County is a very small little county that they beat the big guys by 67 votes, which is incredible. I mean, they were outspent 20 to 1, and the
Right,
people were victorious, but the courts didn't side with them.
right,
So when you have a defeat like that and you're that small of a county, they were exhausted and they kind of, I mean, they had 2 years of no spray in Lincoln County. So that was a victory. But when it came to marshaling their efforts again to pick it up, the people weren't there. And that is why we can't do a state ballot initiative. We have to tend the locals first. There has to be some critical grassroots organizing. So here we are, Lane County. We're one of the bigger community rights counties. If we can get um, this thing passed, that's going to be massive. still they will come for us. Still, the big corporations will sue us because it's legal to do what they do, and we're countering their law. They will sue us, and we say, bring it. We have to have the argument. We have to have the fight in public. We have to build an educationally aware community to understand what we're really up against. This is not a one-shot kind of event. So if we can get going, we have this beautiful bill. We're very proud of it. We want to share it with every county in the state. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this, really. This is just citizens banding together and challenging the status quo. So the more we build, this is a process. It's not fast enough for my take on things, and I think that that's the big rub, is that the earth needs us to have done this yesterday. Well, it's a long slog up a tall hill. We're battling the biggest, baddest, best funded, attorney-rich arsenals in the land. It's a David and Goliath story, but we're doing it because why? Because we haven't gotten what we want, and until we get what we want, we're not going away. So it's one step in front of the next step. It's kind of we can't really look at why we didn't get further with Lincoln County and turn it into a state initiative, or actually a state constitutional amendment, which is what we're really looking towards. Um, we have to think now. We understand the mistakes that we made in the past, not being well enough populated as an organization in Lincoln County, but we're moving forward. We think that the people have a right and a responsibility to challenge unjust law.
So what will be different relative to them saying this is not a statewide effort, so it's not going to go, it's going to have the same conclusion that the Lincoln County one did? What's different?
You have to dig in deep, Craig, and understand that this is a lifelong battle. It's not going to happen overnight. We are building critical mass. That's what we have to do. And like I said, Lane County is one of the biggest counties in the state. So this is a good place for it to happen. We're a more robust organization. Um, we're not, we're not as robust as we'd like to be. And that's why I talk to people all over the county and ask for support in many ways. We're asking people to support us with money. Please send money. We have to mount this campaign best we can. We ask people to go onto our social media platforms and follow us and like and share our posts, because that's a necessary quotient in 2026. You can't do a campaign without social media. We're asking people to join our teams. We have a fundraising team. We have a communications team. We have a coalition building team, and we have an events and education team. We need bodies to actually show up. You know, it's easy to talk about what's wrong. We're an action-oriented organization, so we're making stuff happen. And we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know that we are sitting on the right side of history, defending the earth and trying to create democracy where the people actually have a say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I applaud your efforts. And yeah, I hear you. Like, the best time to start this would have been years ago, but I guess the second best time is now.
Yeah, man, you got
That kind of thing.
it. Yeah.
And I give you a lot of credit. Like, I attended the kickoff event. I mean, I'm sure you'd love to be a more robust organization, but you guys are doing some great organizing and you're getting folks on board. And I don't want to step on Craig's toes if he has another question, but I am wondering if you could tell us, like, you kind of alluded to it already with what you need, but what does success look like to you, or like what between now and May, in a perfect world or whatever, what would you like to see happen like on the ground for us to get the result you're looking for?
Well, we are planning a field campaign. So come March and April, we need an army of good intentioned people to knock on doors, leave door hangers on people's doors, hold house parties, talk to organizations that you're a part of, invite me or one of my comrades to come and speak. We're available. We need to get the word out. It's incredible. I mean, it's the center of our lives, so we figure, well, people must know about us. Lots of people don't know about us yet. So we need to spread the word. That's the big thing. We're going to have lawn signs, and we have a speakers series coming up. These are on our socials. We have it's a water protection speaker series with Ernie Nemi is doing the first one on January 21st. It's called The Economics of Water Protection, A New Look. Ernie is a brilliant guy who's got decades of experience in natural resources uh, and resource extraction and based economies. The second one is going to be in February, and that's Max Wilbert, who I don't know if you remember him, but he was part of the Thacker Pass contingent that camped in Thacker Pass in Nevada for almost 2 years, trying to keep the BLM from destroying native burial grounds. Um, they were cited by the government and removed and fined. And yeah, fracking is going on those lands right now. And then the third one is The Joy of Water Protection, and that's going to be a film of these indigenous kids taking a kayak from the headwaters of the Klamath all the way to the ocean. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's the coolest OPB film. We're going to have two of the kayakers on board to talk. And that one. That one's in March. And then we're going to have Julian Brave Noise Cat. I don't know if you know Julian Brave Noise Cat, but he's an Oscar nominee for his documentary called Sugar Cane about native boarding schools. And he just wrote a book called We Survived the Night. He was just interviewed on Fresh Air, Terry Gross's Fresh Air. He's going to be at the university where we're partnering with UO Indigenous Studies. We're just getting out there, and we are excited to be active because it's it's a rough time. And like Angela Davis said, action is the antidote to despair. So as long as we have purposeful lives, this train has left the station and we're on it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll do the best we can as a chapter and as a statewide organization to help promote these events. Obviously, we feel like that it aligns with our green values of
Yeah.
ecological wisdom and social justice. And these things all kind of are connected. So we'll do what we can to promote those events. I did see that thing with Ernie, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So we'll definitely try to get the word on that, add it to our calendar of events. I do have one more question if no one else has anything, or I'll just go first and then someone else can follow me. But I guess what are you most afraid of? What when it comes to this endeavor? Like, how can it go wrong? What should we look out for? What are the corporations going to do? Like, where can where where can this go wrong? How would we lose so that we don't lose? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Well,
people don't know
honestly,
about it, right? Because like oftentimes activists, we talk to each other and maybe we have a different sense of the world. We live in an echo chamber where everyone's very
mm,
politically engaged. But like you said, a lot of the population isn't, right? Like I could tell you how many people I talk to, like, oh, I didn't even know you ran for Congress. I'm like, my name was on the ballot, you filled out. But it's like so like when you think you've done all the promotion, like I promoted this so much and it's still not enough, right? So I mean, there's a reason why the big two corporate parties spend so much on advertising,
mhm.
because they know this, right? So they know that we need to like hammer and hammer and hammer this. So I guess I'm sort of answering my own question in one way. One way is like people just fail to find out about it. That would be one of the things I'd be afraid of. But what else? What else are we
I
looking out
mean,
for?
we're not naive. We know who we're taking on, and that's not what frightens me. What frightens me is complacency from my comrades. I mean, I know a lot of really smart people, ethical, full of integrity, trying to walk the right road. can't find enough time to stick their finger into the mess. And it's a mess. We need more bodies. That's my fear is that we don't have a big media um, presence. We don't have a channel that's devoted to progressive thought, right? Um, and also I it's not just complacency, but it's that give up mentality. Well, it's always been like this. We're not going to change it. You know, I just don't have I don't have time for that, and I'm concerned that we we hamper ourselves before we get out the blocks. So that's we the ones who have been doing this work, we've been doing this work since 2012, so we're not new to the game, but it's it can be undermining when people give up before they've tried. So it took I don't know 200 years for women to get the right to vote. I mean, yeah, we need to do this yesterday, but we're here, we are today, so let's freaking do it. I mean, we owe it to our kids, our grandkids, we owe it to our ancestors. It's just important to be involved. Insert yourself into the mess. If you have a reason why you can't, um, I mean, personally, I believe if you're a citizen on the Mother Earth, you have to give back.
Yeah.
So I have another question. Um, in I've been involved in forestry issues for 50 years. And besides your effort, I've found that Nancy Webster of the North Coast has been by far the most active and I believe somewhat successful in getting a lot of retirees along the North Coast to be concerned about their water and the spraying. And I was wondering, how are you interfacing with Nancy Webster and their efforts up there? Or is it, siloed and not interfacing?
We've had contact with chapters doing good work all over the state, including with Nancy Webster. We are focusing on Lane County. That's what we have to do. And like I said, we've written this amazing bill that we will share with anybody if they're interested. We've given it to people. It really does take. I mean, this work is not. It's hard. So you can lead the horse to water. I mean, we're here. We're available. We are well supported by CELDEF, um, Community Environmental Legal Defense Fund. We have lawyers. We have really great counsel, and they're available. So, you know, um, we do have connections with people. I just recently made a presentation in Douglas County. We're here. We'll talk to anybody. If you want to fight the system, come on. We're right. We'll help you.
Thanks. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, what you said, the Angela Davis quote. I mean, yes, I saw this woman online. I think she has a psychology background like I do. So I find these things interesting. But she said like the left, quote unquote, the left tends to be more depressed, sadder than the right. And she attributed that to, we're maybe just a little more sensitive or maybe a little bit more educated, quite frankly. We're aware of all the problems in the world, which makes us sadder. Um, but the antidote to that, she said, like Angela Davis said, is like, but when people get active, when people try to do something, then they find that does a lot for their mood, right? That has the opposite effect, that it actually brings happiness into their lives because
Okay.
it's not this I've given up sort of thing and everything's out of my hands and I can't control it. Now I mean, yes, we can't change things overnight by ourselves, but trying, just the mere act of trying, uh, makes people happier.
Interestingly enough, I live out in western Lane County in the Coast Range. Um, a lot of rednecks out here, and some of them are some of my favorite people. So when I ask someone this notion of protecting water and the umbrella of it, which is corporate privilege and power, when I ask um, one of my Trump supporting neighbors, um, what do you think about the fact that corporations have more rights to do harm in our community than we have to protect ourselves from those rights? We're linked. I mean, you don't have to be a progressive to think that we should be protecting our water or that corporations have too much power. So really, this is a unifying notion, and I don't, I don't play it as well. We're the progressives, and we have the information. I mean, on some things for sure, but this is a place where we can come together. This is where you might not want to talk about queer rights with these folks or any number of social issues. But when it comes down to the corporate big boys taking the cream off the top and leaving the skim milk on the bottom for us, we're together on this.
Yeah, I think everyone needs clean air and water, and there's if you may be familiar with the Save TV Butte thing that's
Mhm.
going on,
Yep.
um, and the folks in that community, who I would imagine probably lean a little red or whatever you want to call it. But they understand that threats to their clean air and water are threats to the health of their community,
Yeah.
and
No question.
so they're rallying to try to prevent that quarry from being built up there.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think most people have a basic sense of fairness, and understand these things, and justice is just, getting
I
through to them on all the
imagine,
issues may be challenging, but go ahead, Craig.
Michelle, is there any precedent that you are aware of anywhere in the country for what you're trying to do? I'm curious.
Yep.
Where?
And I mean, it's really kind of an exhaustive list. If you go on celdef.org, you'll see it. But Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania was the first municipality to ban fracking. They banned it. Their government banned it, which is really that's unique. Usually it's small groups of people doing what we're doing, which is just protecting the earth on our own without asking permission from the elected officials or from corporate heads. Yeah, Ecuador has ensconced rights of nature in their constitution. New Zealand, India. I mean, I don't have the list in front of me, but it's a nice long list, and it's very inspiring. Um, in 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 Ecuador, it was the Vilcabamba River that was. This was after the rights of nature was put into their constitution. The Vilcabamba River was a plaintiff in a court of law, and the corporation had to clean up the mess. One of the things that is a provision in ours is that you don't even have to wait for the mess to happen. You can stop this before it happens. It's um, like a protection that is given to the people to stop harm before it occurs. So, I mean, yeah, there are examples. Next time we talk, I'll have the list.
Well, maybe we'll have you back like one more time before
Cool.
May hits, but I'll
Beautiful.
definitely, if you don't mind, share this video with folks,
Mhm.
who couldn't maybe carve out this 1 hour in the middle of Saturday. But
Yeah.
thank you for carving out the hour. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. I want to mention one thing that is it's a new wrinkle in the works. Last week at the eWeb meeting, one of your board members, those of you who live in eWeb country, um, is proposing a proposition or a resolution to oppose our measure. He's, by all,
Name names,
um,
Michelle.
say what?
Name names.
Yeah, I was trying to think
Oh,
of.
that's okay. Well, we've been, I don't want to derail what you're saying, but I'm glad you're bringing this up because someone approached us about we need to find candidates to run for eWeb board, but please
Yeah,
continue.
yeah. Well, okay, so this guy, John, starts with a B, I believe. I'll get you
Mhm.
names. Um, he never even contacted any of us. He says he's done his research, but he never contacted the chief petitioners. He didn't, he just is starting to share lies and make up stories about what this is going to do. And clearly, I, he it has business interests. He's also apparently running for city council. So we know the opposition is out there, and we are planning on attending the next eWeb meeting. We'd love everybody to show up. Please, let's pack the boardroom and say, "Oh, you guys are concerned about clean water. There is no reason to be opposing this water initiative. This is just better than what we have."
Well, there's another thing about eWeb, and that is the Pentaplume under Weyerhaeuser, now International Paper, that has been known since the early 1990s. I found out about it then, and Sub and Rainbow Water District have put extensive carbon filtration systems on off of 42nd Street in Springfield. And eWeb, and I brought this to their attention and to Carl Morgenstern's and to the boards and other people's many times. eWeb refuses to do anything, even though this was the result of spraying wood with Penta for over 30 years. And what eWeb would say is that it didn't really show up in their um, in their tests. But what makes that absurd is the fact of bioaccumulation. So eWeb, their history of trying to protect water is very suspect.
Show up at the next meeting. We're all going to be there. We're going to
I
this.
don't drive at night.
Okay, well,
I don't drive at night anymore.
to get your neighbors to show up or whoever you know, but people need to come and support the work that we're doing. It really is only um, it's an earth saving protection. eWeb is not doing their job. People, they have a really great PR. Um, I don't know if it's a department, but they're doing a great job because I talk to people and they say eWeb is the best, and eWeb is not the best, and the board is not the best. So this is our work. We're doing this work. And this is just another aspect. You can also write a letter to the editor and say, please support Lane County Watersheds Bill of Rights. Um, there's a number of ways to insert yourself into the mess. I'm going to have to get off this call because I have
Yeah,
a
we'll
meeting.
we'll let you go, but yeah, I guess it's yeah. I mean, I understand people just throwing up their hands and being like, you know what,
Yeah.
like I I'm done with all of you. But like we're still at the mercy of our elected leaders, whether they be on a utility board or whatever, right? So I'm glad that you're being an active participant in our so-called democracy.
Yeah, we don't have the option to throw up our hands. I'm sorry. I just think that's not our option. Did you have kids or do your neighbors have kids? We have to be involved in at least exposing and challenging what is really destructive practices. It's us.
Well, thanks, Michelle. I'll let you jump off, but
Thanks.
Craig's here, Ed is here. Ed's my dad, by the way, and
Oh,
Nora's here, and the three of
cool.
us were at your kickoff event. Um,
Yay.
and we will continue to push this ballot measure 2373.
We're
Like,
allies. We are allies. We're going to have each other's backs.
I hope so. I
Yep.
hope so. That's what we want to do. We gotta get out there and support the folks like you doing the good work out there.
Thanks so much. All right. Bless up, good people. Later.
All right, take care. Well, folks, I mean, we don't have to stay on for too much longer, but Michelle did, approach me and said, "Hey, I'd like to be at your next meeting." And so we don't have a big audience here, but again, we'll share this with everyone who couldn't make it today. Um, we do have, I guess I want to make this announcement. Uh, we really need folks to be involved in our winter convention. If you go to our website, there's a page specifically for the winter convention. You register for the Zoom link, and you'll be emailed the Zoom link once you register. And everyone who registers, whether or not you actually show up that day or not, will receive a ballot. So if you're a supporting Green member, I won't go into all the details of what a supporting member is, but basically you're registered Green and you've either donated some time. Um, and Craig, you're here today, so that's like donating time. So all supporting members can vote on internal leadership positions. We do have enough people to run, but we would always welcome more people willing to run for green internal leadership positions. We have a 7-member state coordinating committee. 3 of those seats are up. Some of the folks said they would run again, but I'm sure some folks could use a break. So if anyone is interested in doing that, I highly encourage you to throw your name in the hat. And we need another delegate for Green Party US National Committee. So we have 4 representatives from Pacific Green Party that are on the national committee, and we could use one more of those. We have a person whose term is expiring there. And then in May, I guess looking forward, we have our nominating convention for public office, and we're still looking for folks to run at all levels of office. And matter of fact, at our convention on the 24th of this month, we're going to have a little panel that's going to talk about the importance of running for local office. So um, I'll just stop talking. Does anyone have anything that they want to share with the group or questions for me about either what's going on nationally, what's going on at the state level? Um, I'm on the national committee myself, so I'm kind of tuned in on that. And as the secretary of the Pacific Green Party, I kind of know what's going on with the coordinating committee too. So happy to answer any questions if you're wondering what's going on with Green Party organizing.
Well, one more thing I would suggest is
Yeah.
that we need to stop clear cutting, period. The whole model of industrial forestry is a total bust, and it's intergenerational suicide. And it's true on all levels. It's true economically, socially, as well as ecologically. And I would debate that with anybody, and I'll kick their ass because there is nothing that is sustainable about the industrial forest paradigm, and spraying is an offshoot of that. So we need, in my mind, my efforts are less about dealing with water issues, knowing that they're critically important, but focusing more on the fact that we need to stop clear cutting, period. And we need to hold those people liable for the consequences of their actions across the board. But it's the industrial model of forestry that is really the problem. And if there was an effort in that regard, I would be involved, engaged in a heartbeat. But I don't personally find, and I applaud Michelle's efforts. I know her heart is in the right place, but personally, I don't see that as really getting to the fundamental issue.
Yeah,
And
it's a
it's
downstream effect of the overall industrial logging thing. Is that what I'm hearing?
exactly, exactly.
Not to be punny, but yeah, with the downstream thing. Yeah, I hear you. I guess I'll echo, her sentiments. Like we need more people, just like her organization does, we do too. And even if I want everyone to feel free to contribute at whatever level feels right to them. So not everyone wants to be involved in every single issue on an ongoing basis, but if this is an area of interest of yours and you can help educate other folks on this matter, like I would be happy to, again, on some of my newsletters that I've been emailing to people lately. I'm like, be a contributor to our Pacific Green Party news. You know, if other people want to contribute stuff, I will publish it. I'll share it in our newsletter, but I can't be everywhere at once. Clearly, none of us can, and I can't be an expert on every single issue and everything that's going on in this state and country of ours. It's a lot. I do know that our congressional representative has had a few bad votes on this, like the Fix Our Forest Act, which like I forget how many environmental organizations wrote members of Congress asking them to vote no on that bill, and she voted yes. She also voted for a mining regulatory act, which activists called the single largest giveaway of our public lands to mining corporations in our history. So, I'm aware of some problematic votes by a representative, but the issue is so big and there's so much going on all the time. And I know I'm kind of tuned in with some of the like Cascadia wildlands people and the people that specifically are working on forestry issues and trying to block big timber projects that would, threaten our environment. But um, I'm always welcome to accept more information and then share it out. So if you have stuff, um, please feel free to share it. Send it my way, and we'll get it out to everybody else.
Were you referring to Val Hoyle?
Yeah, yeah. She's if you're in CD4, then she's your rep. Yeah,
She's
which I
worthless.
so
She's
I'm
absolute. I sent her a piece that I wrote called Wildfires and Wild Excuses probably 2 months ago. She still won't respond. And I indict the industry and 100 years of industrial forestry as by far the greatest reason why we're experiencing extreme cataclysmic fires. And it's well referenced. And even the state fire marshal will not respond because I indict the industry. The industry owns the state. They own the state. And frankly, I'm working outside the state more than I am inside anymore because it seems like it's not going to happen here. I hate to say it.
if I mean well, I would love to share what you sent her if you're interested, because I
I
mean
will.
clearly I could use all the ammo I can get. There's
Sure.
plenty out there already for me to use, but I'll take it all. So if she's in some of my campaign material said like you can trust me to listen to our environmental advocates because I am an environmental advocate. She's clearly just not listening to us, or like she'll listen to us some of the time maybe, but whenever it suits her and her donors, she's willing to go against the advice of environmental advocates. So, we need someone who's going to be good on environment all the time. And that's another reason why we're running against her. I mean, if she was good, I would just be like, cool, I'll go run for some other office. But she's sending weapons to Palestine. She's voting poorly on forestry bills and mining bills. Um, she's not bringing back any money to our congressional district to help with the unhoused situation. I could go on. So we are running a campaign that's trying to be very specific about what differentiates us from her. If she was good enough, we wouldn't need to run against her, but there's a reason why we're running because she's not good enough. So if we can highlight that and also just bring it to the attention of everyone in general, that would be great. We can send that out in the newsletter. I think I'd like to have like a little mailbag section in future emails. Um, but it's all work in progress. We're trying to improve all the time. I mean, we be better, of course. Um, we're doing the best we can, and I think we're getting a little bit better as we go. I'm glad you can make it, Craig. It's good to hear from you and good to hear your voice. I know we've been connected on Facebook before, but we'll try to have some this online stuff a little more often.
Great. Great. And I will
Okay.
send my piece to you.
Thanks. Yeah. Um, I got a number of emails, but any of them will work. You can just send it to secretary@pacificgreens.org. That'll work too.
Okay.
Edwin Valentine, how you doing over there? You're muted. That's okay. I won't ask you to try to mess with it. But good to see you. Thanks for joining. Nora, thanks for joining. Nora's our co-chair here, Craig, and she helps out with some of the stuff I don't have time for, so I appreciate her help too. Well,
Can,
folks, we'll wrap it up.
one quick question.
Yeah.
Can I just, in the email that you sent to me about the meeting today, can I just respond to that
Yeah.
and send you the piece? Okay, I'll do that.
Yep.
I will do
It
that.
gets routed to me. We've got a smart tech guy up in Portland named Seth who takes care of all that for us.
Okay,
So yeah, I'll get it
good.
and we'll publish it. And yeah. So we definitely want it to be interactive somewhat. So that's awesome. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So thank you.
Certainly.
All right. All right. I will end the meeting. In Jane, we try to do second Saturday of the month, so we'll try to stick with that routine. Maybe we add like a third Thursday online thing. I don't know. We're kind of toying with this idea, but I'm just sort of experimenting with different things, and I do think we need an online format for folks that aren't, uh, you know, they it's just Craig's an hour plus away, so it's a little difficult for folks like that. But we want everyone involved, so okay, guys,
Thank you.
thanks. All right, take care. We'll see you
Bye bye.
soon.